So preview Friday night World Series of Darts final. Humphreys versus Wade, Bunting, Rock and Van Gerwen among highlights. On Friday, September 12th through Sunday, September 14th, the World Series of Darts final 2025 is scheduled to be held at AFAS Live, Amsterdam. কি কি টাকা না যাও হ্যাঁ যাও না This tournament is the final of World Series tournament played over the past year. After the previous World Series event, the top 8 players are seeded via the order of merit. Behind them follow the unseeded competitors who made an appearance during the season but did not accumulate enough points to secure seeded status. The remaining sports will be filled up players from the order of merit and via the tour cut qualifier. Last year it was Luke Littler who claimed that the Little in the final. The 18-year-old cleared 11-4 against Michael Smith, who will not even be present this year. The Nuke will be one of the big favorite again this year. Friday night, the first matches are on the schedule, and here you can read which player will be in action. Kelvin Towers versus Germain Whitmana. We immediately start the evening with a home hope derby. Kevin Towers will take the Germain Whitmana. Towers was also present in Amsterdam last year and left a good impression then. He defeated Kenny Barry in the first round 6-0 and then came out ahead in second round 5-3 against Rob Cruz. Unfortunately for the audience presence in AFAS Live, he hosts the last 3 legs and still lost the match 6-5. Whitmana last participation in the World Series of Darts final dates back to 2019 when the tournament was held in Amsterdam for the first time. Back then the machine gun won 6-4 against Gabriel Clemens in the first round, but then had to acknowledge his competitor Raymond Van burned in second round. Based on current from the performance, Whitmana would be slightly the favorite. This certainly does not rule out Doers in front of his own crowd. Next, Ratajski and Josh Rock will take on each other. Josh Rock is in top from the currently one of the best player on the tour. It will be the Northern Irishman debut at the final tournament, but despite the fact that he has no played here before, he is one of the favorites. Rocky managed to reach the final the past 2 Euro tournaments and it seems only a matter of time before he managed to win a tournament of his name soon. For Ratajski, too, it will be his debut in Amsterdam. The Polish angle agile can be very dangerous on a good day, but it rock current from he seems to need a top day to stop the current World Cup of Darts winner. In the third match of evening, Demon Heta and Joe Cullen face each other. Heta was also present last year when he defeated Gabriel 6-5 in the first round. However, in this next round, Luke Humphreys was too strong for the Australian with 6-5 ending his tournament early. Cullen was last present in 2022 as a seeded player. Rockstar did not have to play the first round and entered the tournament one round later. There he faced Dave Krishnal, who is managed to beat 6-5 in the quarterfinal. However, the Englishman was no match for Gardner and eventually went down 10-8. Mike Daka will play Gabriel in the First round, Lidecker impressed earlier this year at the World Series tournament down under, where he himself managed to reach the final in Australia on his debut. This enabled him to secure a starting spot for the final tournament. Clemens has been a bit out of fixture lately, but surprisingly has been a regular at the World Series of Darts. Finals of year of the first six editions, the German has attained four tournaments. So far, however, his start not really been a resounding success for the German giant, who has not once managed to advance beyond the first round. The fifth match is one to took forward go current world number Luke Humphreys will take on the seasoned James Wade. Humphreys lost the semi-final to Van Gerwen in 2023. The last year it already went wrong in quarterfinals against Van Gerwen again. Cool hand Luke will be eager to win the tournaments for the first time, but will first have to deal with a tough opponent. Wade was only missed two editions since the tournament inception in 2015. Although those were the first 2 years, his big result come in 2018 when he claimed the title by beating Michael Smith 11-10 in final. The machine is a master at playing mind games and will likely pull out all the sport again to make Humphreys of his game. Then perhaps the match the Dutch crowd is looking forward on the Friday night. Wessel Nijman takes on the none other than Michael Van Gerwen. Normally Van Gerwen would always be named favorite beforehand, but this year is different. Mighty Mike is not in good shape, while Nijman is making progress in recent months. Last weekend, he impressed at the season Darts Open by reaching the quarterfinal. Thus Nijman was 5-3 up against Luke Humphreys, but eventually lost the match 6-5. Till we should not write and Van Gerwen of an advance, especially not in Amsterdam. MBH has won the World Series of Darts 5 times already. So despite his laser form, you can rule him out this year. Still, Nijman currently seems to have an edge to win this Dutch duel at home. Stephen Bunting then takes on Danny Noppert. Bunting started the tournament at first seed after winning both of the Bahrain Darts Master and the Nordic Darts Master. He also managed to reach the final at the Dutch Darts Master and Poland Dart Master. This makes the Bullet one of the favorite to claim the title, thus giving his successful run at the World Series tournament fitting end. However, the Englishman does not have an easy draw with Noppert. The Freeze has been in top 16 of for years, which shows how consistently he performs. The Dutchman attained the past four editions, but never managed to advance beyond the second round. Noppert will want to improve on that this year, but will first have to deal with one of the best players at the World Series this year. We then conclude the evening with the duel between Rob Cross and Haupai Ruha. Cross was present in Amsterdam the past two editions and twice the quarterfinalist, but is Finnish. With Puha, Voltage has had a pretty lucky draw. The New Zealander qualified for the tournaments through his perception in both the Australian Darts Master and the New Zealand Darts Master. However, Hobbs faced both Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys in his first match at those tournaments and thus failed to win a match. Normally then Cross should be able to beat Puha and perhaps advance to the quarterfinals for the third year. মাইক চলবে